Welcome to another QuickBooks Desktop video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Ask My Accountant General Ledger. We're going to be talking about how it can be used to benefit individuals who know how to use fundamental basics of QuickBooks, but don't have an accounting background and they're unsure into which account they should post entries. The benefit of using the Ask My Accountant GL is that when it is used, it puts all those transactions in a sort of review list which could be viewed by an accountant later on, and that person can properly reclassify or adjust those entries. So if I open up my chart of accounts, I see my Ask My Accountant GL at the bottom, and usually whenever you're going to set up a company in QuickBooks using Express Start, you'll automatically have a GL called Ask My Accountant. And it's usually going to be numbered 800. So you can set up the numbers by clicking the numbers on your GLs by clicking Edit, Preferences, going under Accounting, going under Company Preferences, and making sure that this is ticked on. If I tick it off, it'll remove the numbers, but I personally like them and I'm going to keep them. And also, I like changing the number. For the Ask My Accountant GL, I like changing it to 99999. That's just to make it look very, very different from all the other GLs and sort of make it really stand out, because the Ask My Accountant GL is sort of like a red flag. Now, for the purpose of showing you a before and after, before I actually start making entries using the Ask My Accountant, and after, I just want to generate a P&L. Alt-RFS is my keyboard shortcut. I get to my P&L, and I'll say it's for this fiscal year, and it'll look something like this. I'll just take a screenshot of this, and I'm going to keep it over here. Got a screenshot, and we're going to be looking at how this is going to change. So, when would you use Ask My Accountant? Well, in a situation where it's an emergency, you need to absolutely make an entry. You're not sure which GL to allocate that expense or that purchase to. You'll select the Ask My Accountant. So one situation is when, for instance, you're writing a check to someone. You need to make an immediate payment. This happens very often. Could have a client that they're not sure where to record a expense, but they need to pay it right away. So let's pretend we're doing that. We're writing a check. Okay, it's coming out of this bank, Scotia. It's our check number 4. This is the date. It's going to be paid to Amazon. Okay, the amount is like, say, 1,000. Now over here, what I would do is I would select Ask My Accountant, because I'm really not sure which GL to allocate it to. And then later on, I can review it, or the person who's doing my bookkeeping can review it. And to help that person out, well, I would write a little blurb, okay? Like I would say, this was for the purchase of furniture in entrance. You know, like whatever description can help the person out to associate that $1,000 amount to wherever it needs to be categorized. So then we save and close. And you know what? We'll do another one. This is my check number 5. I'm paying, you know, it doesn't really matter, but Office Central, I'll call this is $2,000. And again, I'm picking my 999999. So that's the beauty of changing your GL to a different number sequence, is that you just need to remember when you're not sure to use that sequence of numbers, 9999, instead of typing Ask My Accountant or whatever. Anyhow, we'll give a description. We'll say this is for office chairs in meeting room. Okay. Now we're going to save and close. So when we go to our P&L, or if we went to our trial balance, we would see this Ask My Accountant GL. And this like really sticks out like a sore thumb. So like I was saying previously, the purpose of the Ask My Accountant GL is to serve as a red flag. So the person who's handling the bookkeeping or your accountant, at the end of the month, when they're going to close the books, that this is going to be very obvious to them. And they're going to want to explore that GL further, right? So I double click and I can see the comment even. Well, okay, this Amazon furniture, office chairs, these are probably things that, you know, I may want to capitalize and I may allocate to a furniture GL in the assets, in the fixed assets. So I probably want to put this in furniture and equipment, right? So I save and close. And it just refreshed. And that took it off the Ask My Accountant. And same thing with this, probably furniture. Save and close. Refresh. Escape to go back. And voila, I just cleaned it up really, really quick. So again, this is a fantastic tool that can be used to collaborate with your accountant, share information, and have him correct those entries that you're not sure of. So just to compare a before and after, this is the before we cleaned up the Ask My Accountant GL is down here. So this really sticks out. The important thing when you're using this, just to save some time and not have your accountant ask too many questions, is always try and put a little description in the memo section here. Because like you saw previously, when I double click that Ask My GL account, it's gonna at a glance provide the person that's reviewing it with what that purchase or why that GL was used, what it relates to. And what's even better is if you use this attach to actually put in a copy of that bill, a scan, leave it in here. Then when he or she reviews that GL, they can see exactly what it was for. That's the end of our video. Hopefully you found it useful. And if you did, please make sure to like and subscribe.